My people of the United Kingdoms of Bamenda Northwest, I greet una. Today, we go look at the circumstances surrounding this Papa death. We go look at the DDR, the Cameroon military strategy, why the DDR don't fail, the people of the Northwest and Southwest, and then also we go look at how a DDR center get to be properly run by who, which DDR stand for based on the UN formalities. So first, I would like make we analyze which way this crisis don't be all about for the people where they don't participate with the DDR initiative. Knowledge, now the only thing we you feed free from long-lasting pain and help we create a future where it makes sense for the people where they inside this particular geographical location where Germany be box them together, create Cameroon, Britain and France separate them, and then we come back under UN as a federal nation, and then we will be abolished for 1972, and then we get a unitary system till date. So make we watch some video for here and Oman put the thinking cap on. This one a time for critical thinking. So make we dive into some footage here, look at those footage and then analyze the situation. Again, now a very unfortunate situation, say we lost a citizen like this. We get for protect, especially those where they don't travel abroad, spend time inside the United States of America. They get a lot to contribute to build a nation or to make communities better. And so their life no get for be taken. We just say, oh, it just be normal. Society be structured a certain way. Just about maybe 2.5 million Africans them day for the United States of America. We get a continent of 1.5 billion people. United States of America is the best nation on earth. And so just to make it here, study here, see what way they happen here, your contribution to any nation in Africa, my people, is very, very instrumental. And now why that way you see how to stay on this case a little bit. So make we get perspective, right? So make we watch some footage here together, right? Put on our thinking cap and then we reason.
Today we are having another bad news all the way from Bamenda. It never even stay where we finish with the one for Boya, even though it is still hot for our heart. The same scenario don't take place for Bamenda. The one happened just now, where report the talk say a 7-year-old, we got the news all the way from CNA, a 7-year-old pupil, Sembele Kaki don't put it down with the gagagag this afternoon. So for Bamenda, where he come school, the pikin name will get him, say the pikin name na Tato Brandy.
So when I don't hear that story about a 7-year-old with military be take a life in broad day life, right? And this footage be taken 3 years ago. So the DDR stands for disarmament. It stands for demobilization and also reintegration. So number one objective, disarmament, will be all about taking away the weapon from the combatant in hand. Number two, demobilization will be all about formally releasing fighters from armed groups, and then reintegration to help them settle back into civil life. So now the primary objective are based on the UN on how disarmament or DDR get for being run. Now the primary objective of that word. Again, you know, if you be blessed for this life listening to the wrong people. So we don't think inside a community where it be easy for just be everywhere, listen to every person, and then expect to make progress for life. So listen to this footage and then make we look at this pie situation again. You cannot be blessed listening to the wrong people.
Listening to wicked people.
You cannot be blessed listening to wicked people.
Can't be blessed listening to wicked people. You can't be blessed listening to wicked people.
That devise other strategies for keeping our groups alive, and those other strategies when I get prison, then when I hold them on bail, when I catch one of those or two or this or three of those enablers, the one the way they come out diaspora where they never ever talk for the revolution, but they feel say they feel run business in Ambazonia for war. When I catch them, they go pay 2 million francs before they are released. 2 million. Now, so now take and will survive down our groups that for ground zero, because down our groups that they do good things for this revolution, for advance the revolution. But no money ever care. That means that nobody care how will they raise funds, how will they even survive.
So if you listen to that footage, now make we take a close look at this DDR. Wanna be ready, my people? Moving right, make we take this hypothesis, put them to test, right? Run through and then see. Number one, victims of the crisis not get to be part of the DDR. They're not going to be part of the DDR initiative. And from every indication, Anglophones, you guys have been deceived by your own people. And it has always happened like that. Any system for this ground will collapse. Now, always gullible people from within with ignorant thinking, they always destroy their own people, their destiny. And it never ever be an outside force. DDR not begin to be a Cameroon government a tool for fight the Ambazonia initiative. And then also, be appropriate for DDR for label a combatant as terrorists. So that now how that way you know whether this one an initiative will really be out for help people. You know the label, but if you hear when a so-called DDR affiliates, they don't always the label combatants as terrorists.
In few weeks' time, I'll surely launch war graphic versus sour people. I tell on our lie. If graphic will not tell on picking them, me will stop the nonsense. I go push graphic the back out of here when I see them. Innocent or not innocent. All una get the same mentality.
So now they way that way you know say this person they working out really for government. And it will take me a time to understand for the very beginning. Say something be wrong with the way these people, the way they don't create Facebook groups, they label themselves DDR members. Now on a rogue system that, right? So
even you receive fight for Northwest today, so the fight for independence. No say you want to separate only Northwest. Una be our own country by ourselves. We too will do our own country by ourselves because there is no way we ever sound. I should go on. Ma tell now. Una call the party. Me speak the truth. Northwest man and we can never and ever be in the same place.
Wait to be La Republic is strategy. It don't always be for mimic which way Amber they do destroy the Amber initiative. So if we see what we want to do, we'll go create a Facebook page, mimic una strategy, and then set confusion, destroy una from within. That is not DDR. It should be very clear because UN guidelines them be very, very well established on how DDR will get to operate. Does this make sense? So this Papa come out America, go back for Cameroon to carry out a construction project. They out with the friends them. All of a sudden, some unknown gunmen show up, say they want for kidnapping. He resists kidnap. Wait to happen, I say they take a life. When I don't see that footage, that one that 3 years ago, make you think, right? If 3 years ago, civilians, they be see military take a 7-year-old life, broad daylight. And then all of a sudden, they don't tell when I say, military, don't be peaceful now, and they commit any atrocity. The question we will get for the ask now say, in what way has the military been orchestrating this same action till date? Now, which way they don't use them for the take civilians their life? Because if their strategy don't be enough for mimic way to what they do, then the simple approach now for act on the other side as the savior, and then act for the other side as the villain, using people then from within, using even ex-fighters, because an ex-fighter where they don't pay, if he show up, you use na amber, and then he take personal life. Because from every indication where I just get the news from home yesterday, it shows that this papa be done the pay it dues for support the Ambazonia initiative. And then with your right senses, how you go talk say this, so this papa, right, be eliminated by Amber. When they understand now. So the only way now to come through either the DDR, take people that live this way, put them on top Amber head for reduce public trust, so that why they will continue the process of eliminating the Ambazonia initiative. It was not really about DDR. When they understand. So now, so it makes sense of situation. The joy here wait, like you see, Tapang Ivo talk, say, oh, people the way they need to support the crisis. Because I don't say this problem don't they inside our community for more than 50 years. Every Anglophone knows that. You should not be naive. No, if they don't born you, even if you just talk pidgin, I know say you don't grow inside Anglophone zone. But talk to this, you don't know about the Anglophone crisis. This one naivety, where it be intentional. And then for see young people then who call up whole gun for defend this cause, and then you label them. I mean, some other kind of game day. So the people that don't either be paid by government to do these kind of actions. And when I don't be deceived for corporate, destroy on our own self. And I repeat again, it like you talk, go up, come down. If you don't live among this military or this government or live inside this country, people the way they lost war, not be them the right laws. People the way they win the war, not them the right laws. The DDR will be created to win the war. Not be for help reintegrate. Not be for help disarm. So make we do some comparison. Make we look at maybe start for 2018, created by Cameroon government. So number one category, now the founding basis. What was the founding basis of DDR? Maybe we look you and your own, and then we look at Cameroon your own. Number one, established under peace agreement or formal ceasefire between all parties. You will see ceasefire they happen for La Republic. When we see ceasefire they happen for them, no, they will train more people to send them over. Does that make sense? So ceasefire between all parties. Now the intention that we DDR be created by the UN. So for under Cameroonian system, because we don't do a comparison of both, so that we make sense of which way they happen. This a country, a people that have gone through pain, especially Northwest people and West region, Tika people. We have gone through pain in this country for more than 553 years. You know, if we take these people and play with, whatever you call yourself, and we know, and I repeat, when our greatest enemy don't always come from within, not be outside, from every civilization, we will not be the first. So more than no things not only for Cameroon, no, or only for Northwest. The highest enemies that don't always come from within. You get it? So mostly Cameroon you own. So it was created unilaterally by presidential decree number 2008/719 without a negotiated settlement. Did you hear that? Without a negotiated settlement. Make the population for the entire Anglophone zone begin to hear this. Number two, category and neutrality. When you understand this, you know, will ever be confused again or tricked into some agenda. Because some people, they say, oh, the Amber don't die, or they struck now, or it's just thing we call up. We just still wake up to build the United Kingdoms of Bamenda. And we don't, this ambassador may be now to just study, wait, no work. Yes, inside America, here we get the term for Silicon Valley, where the talk say fail fast. Means say you try something, then you know, say the one that work, you go start the next thing. And at the same principle, I don't apply and to run even multiple businesses here in America. When I deal with my people, we shall be free. Me some man no think say this so they be King Kong and then they don't play this kind of game. It means say this so they will destroy the destiny of the people in this region. 553 years. 553 years. We will not cower down and lay low and just tell our public government, do with us as you want. Because almost every Anglophone, make you know, especially Northwesterners, you go receive the worst treatment. Whether you even cooperate with this DDR initiative or not, your suffer for this country, it will be very severe, whether you like it or not. Now, number 2, neutrality. Managed by independent bodies, often UN international speakers, to guarantee impartiality. Is that what you saw in Cameroon? No. Make you see Cameroon your own. Managed entirely by the government. Viewed as a tool of the same side fighters were opposing. So, managed entirely by the government, viewed as a tool of the same side fighters were opposing. So, they be just being on the other side, where fighters they be opposed. That is the neutrality category. Make we look at the security guarantee. So, safe zone with protection from arrest, revenge attacks, or military infiltration. Any man we don't be a victim of amber, we don't openly declare, say, the reason why he feel this pain are because amber attacking must get a revenge factor. And if he compromise to any extent, so that kind of individual not be competent for be part of the DDR initiative. So when we don't know this kind of thing, we should go along with any person. Even some people, when they see and they tell you what to do, you cooperate. Know your right. The ignorance of the law is no excuse. Means if you don't know God, even God, may they excuse you if you don't know your right because you don't study, you don't learn. Now, the mistake this way, it don't happen. I don't say almost the entire Anglophone zone has been a victim, and why do they expatiate with this? So, make we look at the security guarantee for Cameroon government. Okay. Reports of arrest, spying, and military presence inside or near DDR centers will be wrong. So, all these military barracks where they establish them, go on, I don't know, right. Una just think say even in a crisis like this, the people they do with una anyhow way they like. And when you know form a case against this kind of government, against this kind of system the right way, and then you don't even get a moral ground for winning because you don't know exactly what to be wrong. You know inside you see something be off, but you know if you really articulate them. Now why do they do this study with me? When I don't understand my people. So then the next category now disarmament process. Make you see how UN we set the guidelines of this because not you and give kind of hell when I tell when I say this so they're supposed to do things. When I give a figure out how things are supposed to be done, document them, file a report, and then when I kick against the government if they need to do the right thing. And when I to help with other ideas say this this government too corrupt, so when I not be change anything. People then cooperate. If people they be locked them up, they watch the government, follow the guidelines, see which way they happen, government they follow that process. People then just stay away, watch the military confuse around, get involved with the fighters, and then the proof say this so they be in charge as the government of this country. Make it be all about the civil war. We not really which way it be. Was a civil war. So for the level fighter and terrorists, I say it is wrong. Forget a person when now a victim of amber get involved is wrong. Right? That's why you see as I came in, my approach will be now, okay, how will we work, make the country move forward? And I was presenting an economic plan. And some of them think say they don't get power, but they, as civilians, but if you run work with DDR, but some other citizens them not come up with development projects, help move the country forward. We know involve people then losing their lives. But people that will be involved with issues that we get with people losing their lives and they feel say this way. They don't get power, and as other people get power, and they will question even what you do to help move the nation forward. When I understand, we need my people. Yes. So I said they never play with this 553 years. Coastal people then catch our people, then 120,000 sell as slaves. It finished for them. Northeast people then come in, catch more than 300,000 of our people in a population of 1.2 million sell as slaves. Northwest and West region has been a victim in this country in the hands of their neighbors. And any Anglophone picking way, the king said, one, I joke, this is no play. We'll get not only support, I need to hear and explain, not just to watch how this thing unfold. Now, only truth will set me free. You get me? Ad hominem will not work. The reality is what will work. So now make we look at, so the DDR not be built in those areas the way that all those so-called military bases the way that they build, and right now it is completely wrong. You get it? The next category where we don't touch them now. Okay, make we look at the disarmament process. Weapons collected, cataloged, destroyed under international verification. That the due process that of DDR. Right? Now the process that of DDR. So make we look at Cameroon government approach. Weapons handed over to government forces without neutral oversight. Fear of being traced or targeted. You see, the Cameroon military approach. Not be given the hand government them, the government of Cameroon weapons. And it is possible for an independent body to operate with this mission. Counselor them and advisors and may give a come from ex-fighters. The kind tone and energy we wanna see the people the way they be talk about DDR online. When I feel like say they will be out for really follow this due process, help restore peace for this country. No, it was more of a revenge. We go show them. We don't see this one with the pointy, we will kill you, we will throw it for road. And they think all these things will be okay and they will go away with it. No. This is a country, I repeat, these are a group of people. Portuguese don't can show it, German can show it. Right? England, Britain, which kind of people they never pass for our skin, my people? Never again. Never again. This Cameroon election and all these little games where people they run around. Okay, make a look at the next situation. Look at the next category. The next category in the demobilization phase. So I don't talk about that one. Make we look at the demobilization phase. Structured cantonment sites with medical care, psychological support, and identity registration. Now the process that with the DDR we get for follow-on. When I deal with my people, now they process that. So how Cameroon government carry out this? Poor living conditions in centers. These are well documented. Poor living conditions in centers. Minimal counseling. Because I don't try to even hear from some of those members of the DDR center and whether this process go through. Now, me I will recommend some book where I will even share an audio version of that book with some of the ex-fighters. Man's Search of Meaning and some other books and we help them get perspective about life. Now, the process where government follow on, no. I will explain again. Government has been allegedly playing both sides of this whole game, and civilians them and those the way they don't pay. Yeah, they are told even as they talk about politics today. You understand the side where they don't be on from day one. I say, oh man, the entire world know. I will even put down some videos and where people they talk around the world about this wapobia. Now only these people they know say this papa na correct man, and they say they play for your interest. What kind of interest? You are a human being, a citizen of this country, and you really think say you will be stand for fight for the interest of the people, and then you look this government talk say correct, label your own people terrorists. We go against the UN guidelines. It's against the UN guidelines to label combatants as terrorists. Make it be clear for the entire Anglophone zone for you.
My people, let us pray. Actually, if you are Cameroonian, please move forward, move to the front, because you need this prayer more than the rest of us. Ben, in fact, forget about prayer. We've been doing that for decades. Cameroonians, what exactly is the color of your problem? Benny, number one, I know that not all of you, but I cannot believe some of you are still in support of your 92-year-old president running again. The devil is a liar. Tofia, back to the sender. Number two, 42 years did not teach you anything.
Registration plan. Make we look at that category. Now they process this based on the UN, and then we look at Cameroon UN as well. So multi-year packages, some packages them they give a set and up every year. A country will not be some personal property. Now they think that way. These are Cameroon people that they shouldn't talk sometimes. Yeah, they say this government has some personal property where they choose people the way they want to work with them, and then the people them just go along with the way they do. That is not a country. That one is a gang. That one is a caste system of government. We're not really a tribe and a gang. And then if you talk to support that system, then they give you position. Vocational training, education, small business grant, community reconciliation. When I don't see this process being followed, my people, no. I don't talk with people that every day fear, they people they had, they be confused everywhere. They get information all the time now from people them way they don't sign an oath to destroy them, for guide them. And I'll be tell all our people them, never you trust any person where you don't work with ADF before. Make it be clear. Not trust any person where you don't ever work, any person where they work with ADF, any person where you don't ever work with ADF. I don't trust nobody from that DDR camp. I don't look at all their structures, all the ways where they don't carry out their program. It is completely wrong and a classic proof that this was another gang created by Cameroon government to serve their interests, to quell down the Anglophones where they cry for get a place in this country so that their own rights, their own sovereignty will be acknowledged based on the pain where they don't go through for the 60 plus years. But I don't tell you when I say Anglophone pain, start not today. And almost all the people, the way they end up lead most countries of Africa, now descendants or people the way they come from tribes and communities of slave traders, and that they get money for go travel abroad, study, so that they can come down, bury the idea for talk about slavery and slave trade, where we've been at the number one foundation of the founders of Pan-Africanism. They dismiss that, jump into colonialism, because they know say if they start touch slavery and slave trade, their entire community give account. Or will be seen a certain way. So they bury them for on colonialism, say they want to create one Africa. And then you see how it trickled down to one Cameroon. Now they say it's one and indivisible. And then that's why you're trapped in this and you cannot leave because of these people. Not just a transfer of one game to another. You understand me, my people? So make we look at the reintegration plan for Cameroon. Limited training programs. Low funding, unclear follow-up. Because I don't talk with some of these people. Wait to be the plan. Be clear for my head. Now, why did I do a deep study on this, right? Many ex-combatants left without sustainable livelihood. Did you hear that? Make we look at community engagement. So, based on the UN, it involves host communities. And all this thing, is saying that our money or my people. Now, just the intention, first of all. Because someone say, the idea I always say, my man, Cameroon is a poor country, it is struggle, so the government will give a do the way you give a do. No, this thing is not money alone. People then with good heart, where they get intention to see their community go forward, will set up structures and way at least if it serve the needs of the people. People that they are around the world, many Cameroonians where they feel volunteer for counseling. Because the psychological trauma of the community and the combatants, it be very, very important. But when you label them, terrorists. Take them, link them. Wait till it happen for far north. It is off. Don't trust anybody that comes with that kind of statement, whether a politician. Where you want to talk about Anglophone crisis and then attack the attacks of Boko Haram for the far north. Not just trust that kind of person. So involve host communities in reconciliation to avoid stigma and a revenge cycle. And I wish that we don't see not just a revenge cycle and corrupt people from within where they join with this DDR system. Some of them be bribed, you understand, to disclose fighters their location, play double agents for destroy our own citizens them. Because how many people they probably take? Many, including our bush and just take their lives so that they feel the whole idea if we make this amber look bad. Which kind of way they will do? They will find every way because now their whole game that we will create the DDR, we will follow guidelines, we will make sure so the DDR completely destroy the Anglophones and their quest for sovereignty to get better jobs, better schools, better living conditions in this country, to be treated fairly. Your own people join, destroy, wanna cry, label them terrorists, label wanna terrorists, and they are bragging. I still put this video, some still can say na terrorists. Do you get it? Miss any man way they should only think for you, it's a ultimate end. Think fine again. The $1 million question where we get for ask now say why our community big backwards? Because we believe say all man be equal. 70% of which we make a leader, it come from genes. Means that the born some picking for this ground, it come out with the ability for lead. Jesus Christ was born to be the savior of the world. Moses was born to liberate the children of Israel. Winston Churchill was born to defeat Hitler. He not even get a degree, but he helped Britain to defeat Hitler. So when we the attack, the Mark Baratas, the Eric Tatos, the Tapang Ivors, the message where we they send them out, now say any man we don't be born with those skills and traits for lead, make you not do anything to help this community. Because if he fail, they will crucify you. They will find every flaw in the book for show you say, get way to way it takes. But inside America, this country, it will work because why? People they be allowed to take risk. Now the entrepreneurship culture that. So if you start fail, Silicon Valley get that slogan for a purpose. Fail fast. So if you try something not work, you go try another thing. For our community, because of this stigma, insult, when they tell man say, when I shouldn't quite make man die. Because if you try for help, you make one mistake, they will crucify you. Now they understand? So when you're the inside pain like this, and then people they try to come up with solution, when I demonize them, wait till when they talk. When people surrender our faith under the republic, may they do with we as they want. Because any man will try to help. If one mistake go wrong, we'll deal on top social media to talk about their flaws forever. Moses was a murderer, killed an Egyptian, but God pity, make him move the children of Israel out of Egypt. And he lead that movement well. He was born for it. So by the time you look, all man say, all man they the same. I say 70 to 80% of which we take to lead, it come from genes that born you for this ground. God, they ordain you for that purpose. David was ordained. Maybe population will win the vote. And maybe lead Israel. So that familiarity the Kiwi. Oh, na my man, na my boy, na my son. Yeah, he be my classmate. He be my neighbor. You need to take that kind of thinking build society. Some people that they come here try to talk for me like say we run as some Jangi group. No, this is a nation. This is a group of people that have existed for 553 years before Portuguese arrived the coast, where before German stitched we together from Cameroon for their interests. We all man for Israel, the things say they so if they try to reform this so-called political system, they will change Cameroon. Cameroon was never created to serve the interests of Cameroonians. This place was created for Germany to extract raw materials here, use all these people here for their interests. And it don't continue under colonialism. It don't continue under this neo-colonialism. When you settle that, you start different question and with unity of purpose that this is our time. Tell the truth and take out these clowns out of our land. You know which way Douala Mangabel be tell German people before they hang me for 1914? He said, and make all man way they work with that DDR, including Cameroon government, hear this well. He tell German people, say, you can kill me, but you will not take this land. First World War break out from 1914. Germany lost that war and they killed them out of Cameroon. A prophecy come to pass. Una fit build una military barracks, but you will never take this land. You be wrong on every count. First of all, for the support for BI government, you are already on the wrong side of history. Number two, for go against every guidelines of the DDR initiative, you're on the wrong side of history. To betray your own people, you're on the wrong side of history. To act ignorant, being an Anglophone, growing up in this region, understanding the plight and the message that has been going on in this community for more than 50 years, for dismissal because of your little pain, you're on the wrong side of history. Make that one be clear. Try, explain yourself to me at true command. You're already on the wrong side of history. So make we look at the community engagement. Minimal engagement. Community was not really involved. They've been just different people the way they live for different gangs, them they support different agenda. So minimal community engagement. Communities often distrust ex-fighters, fueling reintegration failure. So community really trust ex-fighters. They don't tell me, say they don't just log now, they are mob. May they not talk. They fear for talk. So they reach out, they send this messages for me, make I hear. All the capo down here, they don't trust none of them. None. Any man you don't want to try, but not trust them. All the DDR people don't trust any. We'll get to the root cause of this. We will know whether evil pass good for this ground. I not the blame white man because when I hope when I say UN is not coming to help you. UN is not coming to help you. You present a right cause before them, they will give it some motion, we will help you give perspective or find a solution to your problem. And now all this is what they do, get clarity. We will find a solution to our problem, we'll cooperate, find freedom. And not be those Amazonian leaders and where they can't tell when I say 3 months now get to Boya. All those false promises. For the talks to me, they kidnap your own citizen for ransom, it is off. That is the number one error for any guerrilla fighter. Che Guevara say, a guerrilla fighter be like a fish and the people now the ocean. And he make them clear. See this, so if the ocean dry up, how do they expect me the fish swim? So community trust, now number one thing. I understand say they be talking about people the way they travel abroad, come back home, but it still don't make sense. And again, when we don't share message like this is our community, time reach for support. May all man support, right? All we know about this predominantly say most Anglophones have done this. They talk about this marginalization thing for forever. Now why are we meaning they run go abroad? We know about the story for this country. Any man, including some of them, where they run for DDR, why you know they become abroad? Why you travel abroad? If you go for study, why not study? Come back, do what you do. You remain abroad because living conditions over there is better than back home. Does that make sense? So don't act naive. Say the history of Africa and the pain where they go on for many African countries. Now only you want to be ignorant. It's so naive and archaic for live in the 21st century and get illiteracy everywhere with jargons and rhetorics that don't align with current realities. And yet they want to always talk. And make una need to walk around with this so-called democracy. Any man give voice our country. This kind of thing destroy people very fast. Even America today, no man give voices here. If some people they don't say una some their own version of democracy, the fake Kwame Nkrumah strategy, una just stay away from that. I don't want to talk with any picking inside the counter the year they talk about one African Kwame Nkrumah. Keep that garbage on the side. Kwame Nkrumah comes from a community of slave traders, had opportunity to study abroad, came back, confused his own country, end up stopped, go out, they leave you out of your own country, and if you come back, die by exile. Now the kind of person I want to follow you today, tell me about one Africa, because some clown and they're around, ignorant. The work I talk about one Africa. Africa was one. So they tell us now, white man can't divide. We divide we how? Your village today, go look at your geographical location for your village. We not get boundary. We not get boundary for our village before even white man come. And they ask you, where they tell us say Africa be being just some flat place, one people everywhere. Really, Songhai Empire no be get boundaries. Mali Empire, Ashanti Empire, all this empire no be get boundaries. White man can't carve for shape ye go. Without consideration of our culture, our affiliation, our history, our culture, our values, they don't factor that in. It don't mean I say boundary not be there. Mama, which group for this world they don't get boundary? Since for the time of Jesus Christ even. Which group they don't know their territorial boundary? Go for inside all those villages and inside Cameroon. They know their boundaries. Monitoring and verification. That one another category. So international observers track compliance and progress. Public reporting builds trust. You understand? Now, the UN guideline that for monitoring and verification. Make you see how Cameroon do your own. No independent monitoring. No be day for Cameroon. And then progress report controlled by government agencies. That is wrong by every standard. Now, so you know to help you find freedom. And you need to finish for this kind of thing. Oh no, the government will do. Now they put all your power through your fears. I been read the book of Revelation. They say some of the people the way they be there for inside hellfire, included the fearful. When you're ignorant, you don't know who you are, you become afraid, you will go with anything where they present for you. Some of the people the way they did for hellfire included the fearful in the book of Revelation. You understand? Okay. Funding backed by international donors to ensure sustainability. Now, so the UN guidelines for DDR EB for Cameroon. Primarily state funded with limited external support. Did you hear that? So wait with DDR. An arm of the Cameroon government to destroy the Anglophone crisis. When I get to finish all man for inside that Anglophone zone before when I say when I don't win. The United Kingdoms of Bamenda, 553 years of pain and suffering of all kinds. It's rock. We want to see Will Smith slapping a Tika boy from Bamenda. Where they be catch great grandpapa and sell as slaves. Oprah Winfrey come up from Bamelike land. Don't do ancestral DNA. You think this pain is just going to be wiped down under this your chicken 92-year-old power and these gangs? Never. Never. Think again well. So it was sponsored by the state. So it's a gang created by the state. And you don't probably hear about how many of them, the crisis, they they go for some place, even some places, they need to gain support, they struggle for go inside some village or go find combatants. Now the thing is, when I don't know who will be, what you will do, you will follow some nonsense, your voice be loud, right? And you think you'll be right. Malcolm X for America, one of the greatest liberators of black people for this country. Now, so he run behind the Nation of Islam his entire life, very vocal, energetic. Just for travel for Mecca, just to realize more than 20 million black people were captured, kidnapped, enslaved, castrated by Muslim people. He come back to this country, leave the Nation of Islam before he pass away. You can be vocal, energetic for the wrong cause your entire life. So, perception by fighters. Now, the last thing that then we go wrap up. one that is under UN, based on UN, this category of perception by fighters, based on the UN, seen as a safe, neutral pathway back to civil life. Now, so he gave the DDR, right? Based on the Cameroon system, perception by fighters, seen by many as a trap, low participation from active separatists. I say people they start this thing, and people the way they get in with low morale, they don't even understand why they do it the way they do, or because the whole idea first of all could be wrong. Former British colony, how can a black person get up today to fight for former British colony? What the hell does that even mean? Right? And the British are not supporting you anyway, and you call yourself former British Southern Cameroon. Don't make no sense. So seen by many as a trap, low participation from active separatists in Northwest and Southwest region. Some of the real fighters, even if they know they for inside Cameroon, they walk away. They don't ever go for that DDR. And I don't talk with some from Nigeria, Ghana, and many other parts of the country. You get it? Very few acquiesce to this. Okay, so I already tell you that they make a rush, make a wrap up this. The idea being able to take away the weapons, formally release fighters from armed groups, and then help them settle back into civil life. That one are the primary objective. So the question I say, DDR, we'll answer the question very fast. DDR be given a run by civilians, and the answer now no. That will go completely against both UN DDR standard and basic trust building in post-conflict situations. So they never even factor the fact community trust people. They like one another. One I don't feel do the kind of thing. So when I think that Amba will be the team for move and then community will be fine. It don't increase trust. No. Some people then tell me say they go back with them Nigeria if this crisis fail. If they don't finally get a country the way they call their own, they will leave the country. So trust is low. And when they always want to talk only for ourselves on social media, get engaged with the people. When you ever run any society where the base now on wood and live for power, and then you ignore the common man and their cry and wait the way that they go through. No make no sense, right? You give them a factor that in, and I why that and put my ear on the ground, and they can't hear some wait with some clown that they talk online, right? So who should run DDR? Professionals in peace building, psychology, logistics, and vocational training. Now they put them that way, they be competent for run DDR. And they get experience for this field and what I don't outline it. And wait till we will become up with we about the vocational training. None of them know if you want to even see what you will do. At least for help give young people them skills where they feel integrate in society. So professionals in peace building, psychology, logistics, right, and vocational training often include former combatants in advisory roles. Now we say you take combatants and send them back inside bush, may they go fight their former combatants, and then they talk, you hear the rage, saying I've got revenge. And then you talk, say, when I did for ISA DDR initiative. No. So their job now for advice, they have an advisory role for credibility, right? And it be overseen by a neutral authority, right? International observers, NGOs, or trusted national commission. Who should not run DDR? Military commanders should not run DDR, or ex-combatants who brag about killings should not be part of DDR. So this creates fear and suspicion. When I be here, the DDR rebel says some one person want go back or fight the people the way they try to kill you. Now the whole tone and energy that was just some revenge group. And the government take advantage for use people the way they get those small grievances against one another to fight DDR. But no end. We will fix this country, make them straight. You right? People then go back for who they be before enslaved as colonial masters then come. right? Build a sovereign nation where they even understand and serve each other well. Not cage in this box, because this group called Cameroon, 4 distinct civilizations teach for plantations to serve German interests, will always breed sick people them, and some from among we will always want for benefit or fight their enemies. Now the same system we don't use them before, not be today, because we don't know our history past 200 years. So we think we don't do something new today. We don't just repeat the same thing will be happen for we with our ancestors during the time we Portuguese they come for shores, they send coastal people, they can't catch people, right? I said the first white man will see for Bamenda and after 1889, Eugene Zingraf. But for over 400 years now, coastal people they don't come the catch we, Douala, Kribi, and Southwest people. Now whether you see CDC today. So that's the history of the people. You get a limited and shallow idea about your history, you will get a limited and shallow solution about your problem, limited and shallow solution as to how to make progress, or approach or strategy on how to make progress. Does that make sense? So people who hide their identity should not run DDR. Did you hear that? Should not run DDR. So DDR requires openness and trust. You hear that? And then anyone who was actively involved in atrocities without reconciliation and accountability, not give a run DDR. Why it matter? Enemies of the combatants go come inside. Unaccountable people then go come inside. Mocking of humiliating participants. Well, I don't see them online. People that they keep can't show. I will show you. I will do this. We tell them. We will show them. That kind of language, my people, is not coming from a DDR initiative. So, transparency na number 1 pillar, neutrality na and the second pillar, full community involvement na another pillar. But when there's no transparency, neutrality, community they engage. When people that they label combatants terrorists, is it appropriate? And the answer is no. Under UN DDR standards and international peace building practice, it is inappropriate and counterproductive for DDR members to label fighters as terrorists while trying to bring them into reintegration program. Did you hear that? Make I read that again. Under UN DDR standards and international peace building practice, it is inappropriate and counterproductive for DDR members to label fighters as terrorists while trying to bring them into a reintegration program. Did you hear that? Is that what you have been seeing in your country? Why it be wrong? It break trust. DDR relies on convincing fighters that they will be treated fairly if they lay down arms. Publicly calling them terrorists signals hostility, not reconciliation. Did you hear that? Contradicts neutrality principle. UN integrated DDR standard, the IDDRS, requires program staff to remain politically neutral and avoid language that stigmatizes one side. But you take people, their language, put on top scale, if you just know exactly where they stand.
Greetings to all Amazonia. This one aka General King Shinaramo Fango Kitunja, the king of boys. The wind that nothing can blow, nothing can stop, I mean to say. At the car of today with this message, a very painful message about that guys in for Bambalang. Since when me and David did the harvest gone them from Marine Force, I don't harvest all the gone them, give them. Before nobody one die, when my blood brother, where I don't go open my account, buy my guns them. They can't seize the weapon, they catch my soldier there. I say anyhow, that one a small thing. I still come out, buy my weapon then, get my soldier then. But every day, this guy there for Bambala, they enter, they catch my soldier there one by one. Even place they where they keep some weapon there because soldier they not be there for whole long. They catch some one that they force them, they go show place where the weapon they did. They take her and go with her. That means these fights now I say may any man fight for himself. Yes, because neighboring village then they no one intervene for the fights, for the infighting where they go on for Bambala and me.
And again, some people, they not be qualified. You don't hear the wait where you give a study, wait where you give a no. And then go through the process for be part of DDR. Now, wait, that one I don't see. No. So, the legal implications, make you look at that carefully. Because some people then think they're being invincible for this ground. No. So, the legal implications, if you label someone a terrorist, you are essentially justifying indefinite detention. Means they will lock you, ever come out. You not be about the process for take this person through that process, put it back in society. You essentially justifying why you feel lucky forever, why you feel just shooting. You get it? Justifying indefinite detention or denial of right, which conflicts with the safe passage. Guarantees DDR is supposed to provide, right? So DDR be supposed to provide a safe passage for combatants. They label them terrorist number one violation and their legal implications. The psychological impact, because when we come from this kind of primitive communities, and some people them say they don't stay abroad, so they think say this, so they know, and they need to look at all these guidelines. They would rant, persuade una, talk for pigeon, so that una the things they be with una, but their goal don't always be for destroy una. He said the psychological impact. Labels like terrorists, hidden identities, means say when you label some person terrorist, you hide your identity, and it make fighters more resistant to surrender. They will see DDR as a trick, not a bridge to peace. Right? This thing go long. When I hear me about people, it go long. There's no competent government to run a nation called Cameroon. With all those gangs and tribes and troops, when I go back to play, when I come out, you're not fit to run a nation. This is my message to the government of Cameroon. You are not qualified. You're not competent. You don't have what it takes. I say when I come out from small village, and most of them achieve them. They don't run a small tribe them where they never ever pass even up to 2 million people. So when I don't can gather 30 million people for here, the yama inside, and they understand what will happen. When I just go back to play on a baby, I say no, go back to your place. That's where you were, and run your area. Now Germany pull now together. None of which don't down say people them from the highlands, the Tika area, people them from the coast, people them from the east central Yaoundé, and people from the north. She don't down say one for come together build a country like this. We never had that. This is Pan-Africanism 101. We'll go back, go find out how this thing even start. Started talk about some paper, the way UN Resolution 16, where people they should judge about those documents. So these are all violations that undermines safety and security in the community. and they erode trust. Finish for able to try to do business with the people that we don't treat them this way. One thing we will give understand my people. In as much as we do all these things we do, human beings are sacred. Make our let una know well. Human being. Now, why that way? I did respect people. The common people in particular. I need to respect arrogant, wicked people. Human life is sacred. Nobody you create person, and you will never ever create a person. And any involvement we get to take another one in life. Make sure so you study well before you get involved, so that even at the end of the day, you act within the guidelines will be appropriate. I mean, for how many years, and you guys have been on the wrong foundation, and some people followed this government group called DDR, thinking that it was out to bring peace. And sometimes they will convince you, tell you, say this when a Cameroon, you understand how to be. Hell no. Corrupt people will breed corrupt systems. So the question I say, are victims of a crisis supposed to be a DDR member? And the answer is generally no. Victims of a crisis are not supposed to be members of the DDR organization. And why? Why victims should not directly run DDR? Emotional bias and trauma. It must come in. Victims may still carry deep emotional wounds and resentment. So you know if you trust their judgment. Now, whether you see, it take me a lot of courage for not be person where it is seek revenge even after they kidnap my relative. I try to instead reason the problem. How will we make our team better? We not involve this kind of initiative. So this can unconsciously influence decisions, right? Making the process punitive instead of rehabilitative. Make I read that place again. This can unconsciously influence decisions when citizens then be involved in DDR initiative. Making the process punitive, that is for punish person where he attack you. And they tell you straight up, say this, so I be attacked. Now why that way are they here? And you tell them, they tell you they run DDR. So making the process punitive instead of rehabilitative. Did you hear that? Okay. Now, the risk of retaliation, behavior and way they be consistent with retaliation, and you can hear that, right? Even if subtle, victims might humiliate, antagonize, or discriminate against ex-combatants. That is what the victim inside the DDR will do. Person who don't be attacked by Amber, not be qualified for be part of the DDR initiative. Because why? They go antagonize, they go discriminate against ex-combatants, whether you like them or not, not human nature. And if you do away with that, right? So this erodes the trust DDR needs to succeed. Now, violation of UN neutrality standard. Now, whether people know the law, know the rules, know how we apply globally in your own context and what we're supposed to do. Now, the only thing that way it is separate white people from we, for East Cameroon. We know they know our right, and so they go with anything. People the way they get high voice. So, make we look at the violation of the UN neutrality standard. The UN integrated DDR standard, the IDDRS, require political and emotional neutrality. Did you hear that? The UN integrated DDR standard, the IDDRS, require political and emotional neutrality. So this kind of people, them, whether they run this kind of organization, get some stable mind, we know the peak site for run DDR. Staff must be seen as impartial facilitators, not parties to the conflict. Some don't outright support Pobia, they don't record. Some don't outright support Pobia. Some don't outright support the government, how they do a good job. Some don't outright talk. Just that word alone is already implicating. They don't outright talk to citizens, victims, be part of DDR. They don't outright disclose even their revenge plan. It's out there on social media. We are in the 21st century, my people. We're not enough for some of our village for inside the dark ages. So, how victims can be involved? Advisory roles in community integration. We never even give a dinner with people of the inside community, not with arms. They run around, they do all the things that they do. Most victims were supposed to be working with communities, not inside DDR. And by the time we understand this in the beginning, Amba people will never label that for what it is, and wanna deal with this. Say this one a government group where you don't be created for this purpose, and be very clear about which way their objective be about. It's not DDR. DDR has never happened in Cameroon. Make it be clear. With victims, them all and ex-fighters, them they all them are sick people where they be given need help. If we give a follow the DDR process, maybe you now stand the top for DDR. You needed help to heal, just like if you were a victim of Amber, you are just like those IDPs. You need help, like Amber fighter and like the IDPs. You don't lose now work because they attack you. They give you the help you for training for give you work. They don't kill your papa, so you know get way for go school. Yes, they give you the help you for send you for school, so that you feel reintegrate in society. At least not feel the pain where you don't experience as a result of the crisis. So does that make sense? So that is what the DDR initiative is supposed to be all about. I think I don't cover this one well. So this kind of papa life, and I'll be clear, allegedly, the government has been playing a double agent on both sides, aided by DDR, ignorant citizens, and the smart one, the way they be quiet. I don't say the worst group of people inside society. Now, the one, the way they be good because of fear or not be my team, not be my family member, not be my friend, so I not get anything to do with way they happen. So they be quiet. I say your silence, it was past the so-called people where they call them terrorists, where they whole God. And if you don't speak up, you don't act, you don't cooperate, you will end up in a situation like how this power, you don't end up. This never end. The plan B by this government, from every indication, to really wipe these Anglophone people out. And the worst are those in diaspora, and they know you are sponsoring Amber. So when you are coming back, you are a target for them. And people, they still take the language of Tapang I for them and the rest back there for say this. So now that word, it trickle down through Ambazonia activities for kidnapped citizens. Which way government done the destroy civilians them since 2018? Because this video was shown 3 years ago, it shows a government, if it take civilian their life, and brought their life, including picking them. Which way they don't they act since then, if you not hear about the government, the activities in the Anglophone zone. So my people, I think that message, it be clear. Get engaged. Make I put my phone number again for screen, they make una see them. So my number that for screen, right? My number there for screen there. +1 281 315 9387. I don't go through this whole journey from uniting the Cameroon, one Cameroon idea, since our papa did not ever tell you a story past 200 years. Picking and grow up in a community, things say our life start from 1961, our life start time we will come out Nigeria. Now so we don't grow up no. Our life start since we will be a group called the Bamenda. The United Kingdoms of Bamenda don't stay for more than 500 years. Why this so-called Ambazonian idea don't just be from maybe 2017, or if we stretch them back to 1985 when Gojin Tinka be coined out the name. Now just the duration that way German them come for 1889. They can't see the grass field. Bamenda means grass field people. They be constituted of Northwest and West region. That is our true history. So before then, the coastal people have been coming in, capturing us as slaves, selling to the white man. We don't follow the celebrities. Them for it's America alone, not Brazil, not Caribbean. See, these people, their ancestral DNA test. Chris Rock, Oprah Winfrey, right? Blair Underwood. And I don't show now their pictures them multiple times. All of these people then come out from Tika land. Jessica Williams, many of them. Ivano, many of them. Their DNA come out, they can't catch them, now their grandpapa them end up here. And so the original purpose of Pan-Africanism, they get 4 objectives. Number 1, for address the issue of slavery and slave trade. Number 2, colonialism. Number 3, racism. And number 4, cultural erosion. Kwame Nkrumah twist the whole agenda because the community they be the slave. Almost all on a president the way they can lead Africa towards independence come from communities that sold slaves, because now then we get money that time past many of we for send their picking abroad and study. So Kwame Nkrumah they attend the 5th Pan-African Conference from 1945. The first Pan-African Conference will be for the 1900. And a man from America, a former slave, and a man from Trinidad, Sylvester William and W.E.B. Du Bois. They gather for UK to talk about the solidarity of African people. And this one will be now the 4 core objectives where they be covered for that meeting. Kwame Nkrumah attend the 5th Pan-African Conference in 1945. Hear this idea, no say come up from the Zema tribe in Ghana, where they may be part of the slavery and slave trade deal, come down, jump everything, put them, weaponize this idea, turn them into a political movement for one Africa that has confused the entire continent for more than 60 years. That is your history. So the original purpose of Pan-Africanism will be for address slavery and slave trade. Number 1, African Americans, they fight slavery and slave trade. We live in South Africa, they fight now colonialism. We give a start from that foundation too. And then now when they talk about racism, we fight colonialism. Does that make sense? That's why we give it a go. They don't come here, they address slavery and slave trade. We did for down there, they address now colonialism. What do we have in common? Slavery and slave trade. They affected us back there and affected them here. We'll go find out. After they will build trust, our community, build business, then love one another and make progress. Not be a revenge. Not be say we'll go back, we'll find out with them today, fight them. No, you just find for help you to find identity. Right. So you give address racism, you give address colonialism, and you give address cultural erosion. Africa had territories, had empires, had kingdoms. Some they be big like the Songhai and the Ghana Empire, and some they be big like the Tika land where we come from. Bamenda, the Tika grass field, the Northwest and West region. Southwest will be part of Douala, Kribi, all of them are coastal civilizations. So some civilizations will be small like our own, and then some will be big like the Ghana and the Songhai Empire. I say only Ghana, Nigeria alone have 14 European countries. 14. And when they tell you about that one African idea, when I think, well, I say only Israel get a population of 9 million people. But Israel will destroy Nigeria, one of the biggest country with 230 million people, remotely in 72 hours. The Netherlands alone can just cripple Africa, united. Netherlands, and then they talk about some big country then. Buttons them the way the Netherlands can destroy Africa, where you don't even get into combat with one. They live in the 21st century.
By 1965, I've traveled through the whole of Africa, 17 countries. I went through in 1964 on a special mission. Right. They promised the world, follow me. In fact, in Ghana, there was a statue of Nkrumah. Right. And he called it Black Square, Black Star Square. And there was a black star, and there was his statue, and there's a plinth which says, seek ye the kingdom of politics, and all will be unto you. I thought, God, that's blasphemy. But never mind. Yeah. That was Nkrumah. And it was an awful mess because you could see the thing wasn't working. He had all the symbols, black square, marching troops. Yeah. We had to feed 2 million people. Here in Singapore, we'll create a first world oasis out of this island. It was a third world island, but we'll create a first world condition.
From third world to first.
Yeah. So that they will base there, they'll break camp here and then venture out. And when they're sick, they'll come back. And their precious equipment will be left here. So we had first world standards of infrastructure, roads, airports, seaports, communications, health, schooling, personal and public security. Later on, we added concerts, theaters, etc. But the basic was first world. That was easy, the hardware. The difficult part was getting the population that's been behaving like a third world to start behaving like the first world.
And make wake up to the reality. I don't have to talk with some picking for inside the United Kingdoms of Bamenda, Northwest. Maybe tell me about how about one Africa. That is a kind of a deception. So my people, when I remain blessed, and I touch on this thing because they all connect to an enslavement called one Cameroon. So where you have one Cameroon, they pay you to go to, no say it trickle down from descendants of slaves people where they continue this game of colonialism and neo-colonialism. So don't be confused about all this kind of nonsense. So my people, when I remain blessed, we are going somewhere, forward ever, backward never. Long live the United Kingdoms of Bamenda as we prepare, educate. When we launch out there, they will fail it. This is no joke. When Israel attack people, they feel them. Right? Yes, because they don't prepare. Not be child's play. When they stand up for something, you feel them inside the Middle East. So my people, remember blessed. We'll be free. They don't be play with me. No. Not the one the inside where they don't play with before and they don't still do at the time. We'll correct that problem. I know what ever happen again. So people that don't know their history, they be bound to repeat the same mistake again and again. Things say they do something new. So remain blessed, my people.